Hello.
Hello, guys. We've got one watch already. That's cool.
Yep, absolutely.
Welcome to Talking with Wizards. This week, or this month, or whatever we do normally do it, this time,
This time.
we are sort of ad-libbing with the subjects, aren't we?
Yeah, I think, between, of course, we have runic studies coming up that where it's always about the runes because they are the keys. They are the doorways that get opened. A little bit about, crop circles and lack thereof this year. There's been very little. And and just the harmonics of it all, just the harmonics and bringing things into alignment. So that's kind of what we're going for.
Well, I know you sent me an article about the crop circles in the New York Times, but I wasn't able to read it because I haven't subscribed, but I got the gist that there's two blokes called Ed and Bernie or something that made all the crop circles in the 80s.
Yeah. I just, it was just something that I happened to stumble across, and I thought it was interesting. I still don't see that as I can't fathom that, not to the magnitude of the perfection of how they are woven in such a precise manner with I just can't see that actually being the case.
No, and I've seen some, like the one that was the Sonic the Hedgehog one.
Mm-hmm.
Great, it looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, but they had a crew of 30 people doing it. And
right.
The grass isn't laid down anywhere near like what a real crop circle is when it's a fractal.
Yeah, and when they're spun, because there's baskets are spun, unless somebody's in there quickly doing some very good weaving, which who knows. But that being said, it has been rather sparse this year so far.
Yeah, and I believe that's totally due to lockdown and what's going on in the world.
Yeah, and I think when you think of the fact that those crop circles typically affect grains, right? Wheat fields and things of that nature. The correlation perhaps with the fact that we are in a year Shemitah, even you can even look at it that way, as far as or food shortages, or I don't know. What energetically do you think?
Well, I think you should explain what Shemitah means.
Of course. Yeah. So we are it's a Shemitah is part of a 7-year cycle. It began last September and it will conclude this coming September as well. And it's a 7-year period where the fields are left fallow. So no farming is done. Things are just left to be what they are. And what is harvested, or can be resolved or salvaged, I guess, from those fields in that time is fine. But more importantly, it's the energetic reset of that. And what happens just on a global scale, what happens during a year of Shemitah. And we're seeing that in the financial markets, of course. But we're seeing that overarchingly everywhere, between what we're seeing in the news, between, the vaccinations and all those other things, the viruses and everything else. It's very much a global reset.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely, so I've read articles where crop circles appeared in the Middle Ages.
Mm-hmm.
None was spotted during World War II. And there were loads of planes above to see them. They didn't speak anything about crop circles. That's the consciousness of the planet. It's like we're not evolving, so the crop circles diminish, if any at all. Yeah. And even this year, the crop circles we've had have been poor in
comparison.
Yeah, to like 2019.
Yeah.
There's just nothing happening. And is that our consciousness? What's going on in the world with the viruses and the fear and the state of the economy? And there's a war in the Ukraine, who knows?
Right.
I
find it fascinating, though.
Yeah, it's like Mother Nature is shutting down. And it is interesting, again, when I was looking about that period of the 1150s in the Middle Ages, so that's when the crop circle started appearing. That was a golden age of enlightenment when all these Chrétien de Troyes, Hildegard of Bingen, and many other mystics appeared. So the human consciousness was rising up to something more. And then for all of those other periods, dark periods, it clamps down. So for me, the crop circles are a reflection of our own consciousness. And it would make perfect sense why there's not much around at the moment.
I also think it's interesting when you look at I'll go into that harmonic evolution as far as going inside and really working on self at this moment, and what we're aligning to, what we're being magnetized to, what we're being reset for. and using the world stage to kind of alter our own chemical balance, our own molecular balance, because that's so much of the work that I love to do, and the runes were the gateways to those keys for me. But that's what I think is really so magnificent about this time, is bringing everything into a harmonic. And maybe that's part of the quietness in that space, to go within versus out, seeking out versus coming within.
So I've been told lately in spirit, and I was discussing with somebody else of this online, is about, it's time to claim who you are. It's time to speak and show your talents rather than just saying nothing and let others do it. It's time for those who are gifted to claim it.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I'd say that's me. That's what I saw in my vision. That's what I believe. And be true to yourself, regardless of what anybody else thinks. And which is that's a real turnaround. That's a massive breakthrough for me. Because I was sort of, no, I'm not that. Yeah, I'm just this. I'm just this. No, I'm just this. But actually, no, if I embody that, then I should embrace it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not honoring it.
And I think we both are going through a bit of a shift. I mean, I've typically kept my work very private. Yeah. And I can't keep it private anymore. It's a very energetic thing. And so
it needs to be shared in the world, Kels.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
So so that's coming. That's what I'm calling it's the cosmic threads. That'll be forthcoming. Is very much energetic on a very fractal thread, very energetic work. So I'm super excited to bringing that forward. But within that, it's been fascinating to watch how it's been received by a few people. But more importantly, it's really understanding the keys of the runes, because it all began for me, Jeremy, with the runes. I mean, I've been studying now with you for 8 years, and they were the tools that opened the doorways for this for me. And over time and evolution and integration of those harmonics, they changed everything for me. They really were the gateway.
Well, that's the lesson I'm learning myself in the last month, that we have those 9 dimensions, and the runes are the keys to all of them, including the light elves.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping up to allow my energy, that is a runic harmonic that fits in a certain place, that I have a place there as well, as opposed to just ignoring it. And many of us who choose to ignore the dead, the giants, the dark elves, we find more comfort with the light elves or the gods or Midgard. But we have a harmonic that resonates in each of those worlds. And
absolutely.
When we discover that in us, that's when we become grounded.
And I also find it interesting because I know that I've been talking about harmonics and the molecular structures for a couple of years now, but the harmonics have really become, you're beginning to hear more and more about it, the resonance of, and how important the universal harmonic is, and just the term harmonics. So that's always, that just brings it more and more into the realm of the collective consciousness, which means that we're on that cusp of a huge shift in that regard. A huge balancing of the scales is the way I look at it.
I've always believed that the most powerful aspect of the runes was their frequency and chanting, the sound. Because we can use them for divination, but we change things by chanting them, by bringing that frequency into our own existence or sending it out to others to heal. And maybe my interpretation of harmonics might be different to yours, but that's when 2 or 3 of these resonate at the same pitch or level and work together. They come into harmony.
Yeah, I see them in fractal. You speak them in tonation, and the runes are them in the physical, but they are all tied together. All the aspects are tied together. I just see things at a very fractalized level, but and I'm super excited because you had chanted the runes years ago when we first started in my old house. If you remember, you came to town and we did that in my office there. But it was really clear this morning that it had to be that energy needed to be re-emphasized, re-projected, or projected out there in a different way based on your own shifts. So later today or tomorrow, I had Jeremy record that. I had you record that this morning. It was beautiful. So we'll share that here shortly. It's just something that can really transport you to a completely different place.
I'm going to tell you something quite funny about that, because I did 4 videos and I deleted 3 of them.
Oh, you did?
when I was chanting the runes, I was getting the order wrong. 3 times I got it wrong. And I was saying Thuraz, Feu, Uraz, Kenaz. What? Start again. Feu, Uraz, Kenaz.
Oh, interesting.
I thought, what comes after Uraz? I know the rune and I know exactly what it's supposed to be, but for that moment I stopped. And I thought, what was it trying to tell me? But probably not going to say this live on air, but if you spell it out, it's...
How interesting.
What is that about? Well,
I
I thought
don't
it
know.
must be a message. What are you trying to tell me? Okay.
Huh. Well,
3 times
we'll have
I got
to.
it wrong.
Pardon me?
I went down to the caves of the Norns yesterday, and that was sort of... I've left these down below where I live. There's 3 caves where the Norns reside, and I've been down there. First time I gave them a set of runes, it was to a well of water that fills up with seawater, and that was gone the next time I went down. Then I made a special set of runes for the Norns, and I think that lasted 1 storm, and every single rune's been taken out to sea again. So it's like, it's a gift. I give it, it's gone. So now when I go to the well, I just take I've got a cauldron of runes here, and I just take a handful, I don't know what they are, and I gift them to the Norns so people can have them when they go away, and whatever one's in there is right. And that was all about, that was Yara that came up. What do we need to know now? And it was about harmony and the balance, Yara.
And it's also about the harvest, which refers to the fields that the crop circles would be in. It's about Shemitah. It's all about leaving the crops to be for the harvest. So I thought that was really interesting. And
the balance
I think
of the land.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it is. It's about the land to be restored to its harmonic, which is part of Shemitah, the fallow fields. Yeah, absolutely. And I know I think I posted that on Facebook yesterday, but it's also on Instagram. I think I got it up there yesterday as well. And you have a TikTok channel. I don't, so I'm never on TikTok, but I thought that was really powerful, and it couldn't be more perfect, that rune, regardless, from so many different.
What I'm going to do when I go down there, I'll leave an offering, and I'll put my hand in the bowl. I did my session and my prayers first, and then right at the end, I'll go in there and I'll ask Andy what she wants to share with us. And I was hoping there was going to be one in Erd and Skull, but there's not. There's only the well in Verdandi's cave.
So really, that's the only one that has the well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's...
It's arm deep. You have to go in arm deep. So my runes are quite heavy. So whatever, I was trying to think how powerful the water has to go, but it's carved waves out the rocks. That must be really hydraulic power. As the waves come in, just flings them out. And people will find those runes whenever they're supposed to find them.
Well, and I'm just going to say hello to Kimberly. She's in the space. Thank you for joining us. And there is somebody who says hello, but it's under Facebook user, but hello back. And we're excited. Thanks for joining us, guys. Truly, I know we say this every time, but this platform for us has really been fun.
Yeah, it's easy, isn't it? It's not like a stress. It's just a chat with friends and just whatever spiritual things come up. Can whoever put hi Kelly and Jeremy, can you put your name so we know
that
it
would
is?
be good. That would be good. So we have I'll just go ahead and share now, and I think most everybody who's on Facebook has seen it, but we do have a new runic studies class that begins on the 16th of it's Olivia.
I'll see you in the morning, or you're probably tonight.
Down under. Hello. It's good to see you. Yeah. So, but we do have a new runic studies class coming up on the 16th. And then outside of that, what else do we have going on? Just class-wise, I just want to mention real quick, Beyond the Veil, which is every Saturday. So tomorrow, or this coming Saturday, a day away from today, we have a journey class. If anybody has never had the opportunity to participate in a journey or a drum journey, or more specifically, a drum journey led by Jeremy and the Runes, I would highly encourage you to do so, regardless of your experience or knowing of the runes or anything else. It's very interesting because they're riddles that are presented to us through the stories. And then the journey gives us more metaphorical aspects to kind of noodle and think about and work with within our own life. So just as a plug for that.
And also what's been happening just lately, and probably the last 6 months, the Norns have been making themselves ever present in classes, in stuff. And I did a vision with the Norns down the caves yesterday, and it was so profound. Was working with the runes, casting the runes for each of them, like I do in our archetypes class.
Right.
And then the vision I saw from each cave was crazy.
Yeah.
And so profound as well. Made absolute sense.
Yeah, the Nornian energy has been coming up on almost a year now, extraordinarily strong, and will continue. I think that's very much the cosmic sands that I work with is very much the Nornian energy.
Hello,
Very
Wu.
much so.
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you in the class. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions and stuff, anything topics you want to talk about, please throw it in. And especially if anyone's considering about doing the runes or knows anyone who might be interested in the class, that would be great as well to pass the information on. And if you need any advice or any questions, please ask us. That's what we're here for.
Hey, I'm going to throw us a little bit of a left turn just because it's not really on our table, at least. So yesterday I was speaking with a couple of people and the Vril Society came up.
Okay.
So do you want to share a little bit about that? Because we were talking in reference to technology that was used based on that whole energy.
So there's a lady called Maria Orsich, which I heard about a long time ago, and I decided to look her up because she was one of the great psychics that was used by the Nazis during World War II to communicate with other beings from other dimensions and other universes. Sounds a bit nuts. So I looked at a picture of it, and when I looked at the picture of it, I was sort of struck, sort of dumb, because it is exactly as the way the goddess Freya appears to me in my visions, and the same energy. And she doesn't look like from that time at all. She looks like a light being. And what she would do, it started, I think, when she was even 16 years old. She collapsed in a shop and they didn't know what was wrong with her. And then from that point on, she started having these visions, Alpha Centauri, and the Pleiades, and she started bringing these messages through. And the Vril Society was a collection of her and these two other women. She has blonde hair. There was a redhead and a brunette, and they had hair down to the ground that touched their feet, and they used their hair to transmit to other universes. Well, this Vril Society was a group, and I believe Tesla was a part of it as well, because their symbols were very familiar. Is Olivia put a video on? Is that a video? Oh, she's on YouTube now. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and share. And hello, Teresa. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to share this screen real quick, just so people who are joining us can take a look. Bear with me. This right here is who you're speaking of, Maria Orsich. Yeah. Yeah,
and you see the length of the hair of the woman in the bottom left.
Yep.
And what they did was they channeled all this technology and gifted it to the Nazis. She was an Austrian. She was not evil by nature. That is who she was. And the bottom right, that's her symbol there. And
right, this one
is the opposite one there. So if you look at the two, what was the name of his energy? It was the energy that sort of self-producing energy. It was like
so I have a correlation to it for the number 369, very much is the Tesla tower, the Tesla coil, if you will.
But she gave the diagrams and the instructions to build jet engines, atomic bombs, flying saucers, all of things. And there are some theories that said it, when the Germans lost the war, she disappeared to Alpha Centauri in a flying saucer. And there are some sources that say the Americans took her and she was never seen again.
Right. Yeah.
So we don't know, but there was something very special about her and the way she channeled this technology. The Germans having the V bombs that would be sent to London, doodle bugs that were sent to London, the jet powers that were jet engines that we didn't have and the West didn't have, so we don't know. But a very interesting lady and a lot of coalitions. When I look and you look at the stuff, it is magical. And there was two societies, the Vril Society and there's the Thule or the Thule Society, which actually believed in the inner earth. Yeah. So there's these two societies that work together. And we know that the Nazis were very much into not just the occult, but searching for the Spear of Destiny, the Ark of the Covenant, all of these great historical, magical objects were really important to them. So they knew something that we didn't. But all of us on here who are spiritual are saying, once again, drawn by those same know that there's something special.
Right. And that's all part of the Antarctic,
Yeah,
right?
the
Antarctic
and the Arctic. The Thule
Yeah.
Society thought, and this is interesting as well with the Atlantis. So when it was first written about in the Odyssey, was it Plato or Socrates? I always get them mixed up.
Oh, you're asking the wrong historian, not this one.
Plato. So it was Plato's, and it was Plato who talked about it, and he said that Atlantis exists in the Iberian Sea, which is the sea between Scotland and Scandinavia, up towards the Arctic. And there's a land, when you look on it between the two continents, called Doggerland, that is a sunken continent. So, and the Thule Society believed that the inner Earth, the entrance to the inner Earth, was in that region. Who knows? You know, we don't know. We just can guess. I'm not too sure about the flat Earth theory, but the inner Earth theory seems viable.
Well, that flat Earth theory actually came up yesterday in this conversation as well, because I don't want to throw us way off course. I easily could with everything that we talked about, but because then you think of what's beyond the firmament, right? So what really is behind the firmament? Is it all the Truman Show? Is it truly flat? And we just have to, and is there a real moon outside of the firmament versus the moon that we see right now, which is inside the firmament? So, there's all kinds of different ways you can go.
Well, it's just that on the edge of the old maps here, there be dragons. So don't go there.
Right. Yeah. But it's interesting. I always think it's fascinating when certain topics do come up, because there's always a reason. That's why they're there, for reasons. So
I'm sorry, Kelly, you see that question?
I do.
Yeah.
Hello, Ian.
Yeah, of course you can. The peaceful and gentle people are aspects of all of the tribal characters. Going to war and being a warrior is just one place around the fire. There are healers, there are teachers, there are mothers. Everybody has their place in the tribe. And a lot of this going to war to conquer it, you do need warriors, and warriors have to be accepted, but not everybody has to be a warrior. The other roles as a healer and a teacher are far more important. Then there comes a time when warriors are needed. But if you are peaceful and you have a soft nature and you want to be a nurturer, by all means, you can follow this path. And there are specific gods that you can follow to encounter that path along here.
Yeah, and then absolutely.
As a warrior, you go, and there'll be women who are warriors as well, but you move beyond that warrior to the search of wisdom and the search of the furtherment of mankind. All of these things exist. It's everything. There's a thing called Gununga Gap, which is the void. Everything that ever exists, everything that never will exist. There is a path for everyone within the Northern Path.
We all have our gifts to bring to the table, Ian. So, yeah, whatever that is, all kinds of different threads to follow. It's a great question.
And this thing where you see a lot online is that people say, "Oh, they're going to go to Valhalla." Well, actually, going to Valhalla is not up to them. We read the Norse texts, it is Freya and the Valkyries who take the first half of the dead. So the bravest warriors go to a place called Volkfang, which is the place of the family and children and love. It's the second half of the brave warriors who get to feast and fight all day and then do the same thing every day, which is an honorable thing to do, to die and be in Odin's hall. But if I personally went, I'd rather be in Volkfang. But it's not up to me. Whoever comes to me when the time's right.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. So Kimberly asks, are all 9 realms beyond the firmament, perhaps?
Explain what the firmament means to me. I don't understand that word.
So, in the old alchemical text where there's that image, and somebody out there might know the name, but there's the image of the child like peeking through beyond the bubble and the veil, and outside of that he sees the stars. Well, the firmament is basically like this bubble of our existence, but outside is truly the veil of everything that is beyond the firmament.
I believe that firmament is between me and you. The internet is part of it. It's existing all around. There's me in 9 different frequencies. In this realm, I'm sitting in a chair. In another realm, I'll be doing something else. Or my advocate in that realm, whatever you want to call it, will be doing something else. Mm-hmm. But they all exist at the same place at the same time, just in a different frequency or a different harmonic. And that's quantum physics.
Yep, all particle form.
Yeah.
all in one. And I think that's where all the magnets and the magnetism and the ley lines. I was talking to one of our other tribe members recently, back and forth a little bit about the ley lines. And, you know, like if you think of astrocartography, and there's always a place for us to be for a certain reason, and therefore there's perfection in all things in that moment.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And it's all based on magnetism, everything. It's always destined to be.
And it's about, and it becomes more obvious to you when you start trusting those lines and trusting you're just following the path of the norms. They wove it for us rather than struggle and fight it, be with it.
Right.
You know, and it was actually one of the messages I got from the dandy when I went on my visions is we have to embrace the joy that we have at the moment. Because right now, right here in this space is all we've got. And if we don't, we're looking to the past or looking to the future or looking to the other side of the world to find the answers. We're never going to appreciate the moment. So it was about being in that moment.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And not be victimized by the moment or the story of the moment or the story of the past. We have to really embrace, like you said.
Yeah, it's really very strange for me. In the last 2 months, I haven't watched the news. I've given up on watching the news. And you know, Kels, I love history and politics and stuff, but it's just can't take it in at the moment because there's this, you don't know what the truth is. So I'm just going to live in my world and the world that affects me.
And it's a super, super, super low vibration.
Yeah.
You know, and that being projected at us all times brings us down so many different octaves that we're not able to really fully anchor into what I consider to be the more important harmonics. I mean, of course, it's always a balance. You know, you need to know a little bit of everything, but yeah, it's a very, very low harmonic or density that comes from being in that world all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the war in Ukraine has been going on since February. And every day on the UK, it's just there, but nobody's doing anything about it. So why do I want to watch it every day? If you're not going to do anything about it, don't keep putting it in my face.
Well, they're telling you a vision, television. They're telling you a vision. They're telling you what it is that you need to believe in. And again, I'm not suggesting, you know, by any stretch that those that choose to tune in are out of sync with something, but I do encourage people to think outside of it and get outside and just not have it be the constant source of energy in your home or in your field, period.
So I watch those really great programs like Love Island. That grounds me.
I go for the mystical, anything mystical. Yeah, applies to your vision. I love that, Olivia.
I sort of, you know, it's and I know Liv watches Love Island as well.
I don't know it, so I can't speak to it.
It's the worst. It's the worst show in the world, but it's just you switch off and you don't have to be mystical. You can just ground yourself, because also we can lose ourselves in the mystical path as well. We can become too mystical and not grounded. And Love Island's like a big slice of chocolate cake and a coffee when you need to ground, or not coffee, hot chocolate.
Okay.
two out there.
Interesting. Well, Love Island. Well, I mean, the title's great. Everybody want to be lost on a Love Island. I'm hoping it's a good Love Island and not a who knows what. It doesn't matter.
It's out of dross.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
It's these super beautiful people who are not real people. They're all the guys have got six packs. All the girls are beautiful. You know, it's not a real people. They should have real people. I think it would be far funnier. Normal people.
There's many sitcoms out there that could be created. Hey, speaking of this, complete left turn last night, because we talk about Frasier, you know, Roz and Frasier.
Yeah.
They've turned it into a horror. It's coming out as a horror film or a thriller. Seriously. I was like, oh my God, seriously. I saw a preview for it last night where Frasier has become a wacko and he's out to
Kelsey Freya in it. Is it Kelsey Graham?
Yeah, the whole original cast is
in a horror film.
But they've made it scary, unless it's a complete spoof and I'm very gullible, which is possible, but I don't believe it is. Anyway, so.
Oh, hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Does anyone watch Weeds?
My kids would laugh at me. I don't know programs, television shows, whatever. I don't know them very well, so I can't speak to that either.
And another one I'm sort of addicted to, which is terrible for anyone out there who's a man and a warrior. I know I'm predominantly a feminine audience. Outlander is what I watch as well.
Oh, well, I did for a few years. My mom used to love watching Outlander. Oh my gosh, she would just swoon. Her heart would just go boom whenever she saw that show. But yeah.
That's come back on again. Yes, Kimberly.
Yeah.
It's good to escape the world. That's what television should be, is for us to escape into fantasy world and have a break rather than more dross.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is, anyone have any questions for the runes? So we'll go into that. Okay. I will do my chant to connect us. Everyone who's listening, please close your eyes, listen to the sound of my voice, and imagine the doorway opening. Manas, manas, manas. Me, ma, mu, mo, me. Manas, manas, manas. Am, im, om, em. Manas, manas, manas. So if anyone has a question they want to ask, please ask it now. Give me the question and 3 numbers between 1 and 24.
All right. Let's see who's going to pop something in here. Jenna has a question. Thank you, Jenna, for being the one to pop in. I'm at a crossroads and need help, please. And let's see, Jenna, we just need your 3 numbers and we can go with that. Hello, Jenna. Let's see. So Kimberly, while we're waiting for Jenna to post her numbers, go ahead and post your question. And Jenna's numbers are 12, 14, and 17.
So Jenna is one of my rune students. So Jenna, we have Kenaz, the right way up. The middle rune of the 3 questions is Winjo, upside down, standing on its edge. Beyond that is Fayu, the right way up. So you're standing at a crossroads and you need some guidance. It is about identity, or somebody's identity is not revealed to you, and you have to see the identity from the past that is blocking you from embracing your own abundance and the goddess Freya. So what is this about an identity that somebody is hiding from you, or that you must face in the past to find your full feminine power? And I don't know if that makes any sense, but you've got Kenaz, Wunju upside down, then Fayu. All right, bless you, sister.
Perfect. All right, Ian is next. And he would just like some guidance with the numbers 2, 5, and 24. 2,
5, and 24. Is getting back out again.
Yep.
I'm normally a lot quicker at getting them out. I'm fumbling today.
No, I'm pushing you hard
5, here. 24. Just guidance. Brother, you have Issa blocked. That says you've been stuck in a certain place for a long time. Whatever you do is wrong. And it's like having your feet frozen in a glacier. But that is all about to change. We go into abundance. And actually, the divine feminine coming for you, the goddess Freya, embracing that female divine energy to heal you. And then after that, we have Laguz. That ice turns into water and becomes a creative flow of stuff like love, art, anything like that. But from where you are, it's like you got writer's block, and the ice is about to melt and set you free, but it has to be done by the divine feminine. All right, I hope that helps, brother.
All right. So this is from Kimberly. And it's
I've got a session with Kimberly in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Are you using up all your questions?
All right. So should she reach out to a particular person from her past, and why did I? There's two questions. So I'll read it to you and you can answer it with or for. So should I reach out to a particular person from my past, and why did I lose touch with this person? And the numbers are 4, 18, and 9.
4, 18, 9. Kimberly, you have all 3 runes that are blocked. You have Sewello blocked, you have Bacana blocked, and you have Awez blocked. Should I reach out to this person from the past? Not yet. Sewello blocked. Maybe in the future. There's some things that have to pass. It's neither death nor birth. It's stagnated. It's the block of harvesting or things coming forward. And maybe this may be a partnership to do in the future, but something has to go past its cocoon stage. It doesn't know whether it's life or death, and it's not really sort of reincarnating just yet. Wait. So Wellow's there, it will be good, but you just must wait for the sun to shine again. We'll talk about that more later.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. All right. Give you a moment to place those back.
So the way I'm reading the runes is how I teach you to read the runes in the class. So not necessarily just one rune, and I see 3 runes as a picture that show me what the gods are trying to say. Okay.
Perfect. All right. So this is from Teresa. Advice on updated business, 7, 10, and 24.
So, Teresa, you have Uraz leaning towards the second room, which is Eo, leaning together, coming to converging. And then beyond that, you have Othello slanting the same way as Eo. The energy of your business must be totally focused around what you decide, the home, the tribe, the place it comes from. Where is the source? Where is the heritage? Where is the tradition of this business? Inherited gifts must focus for you to find strength. So, and actually maybe even do a bind rune of all those 3 for the business. All right, bless you, sister.
Powerful. Okay. All right. Miss Olivia is whatever she needs to hear with 7, 3, and 10.
7, 3, and 10. Whatever she needs to hear. This is interesting because it says Love Island's on at 9 o'clock.
Oh, funny.
So what it's got, Olivia, it's got Awez upright, which is a good partnership in moving forward, maybe in a relationship, maybe in a business working partnership or a spiritual asset. But as this comes to pass, this person or being will drain your energy and cause tears, which is part of it. It must have that. And you know anyone called Louise, Lewis, something like that. It's related, or even a last name. Awez upright, Uraz blocked, Laguz upside down. Talk about this in your class tomorrow morning as well.
Love it. Perfection. Yep.
So did we have one from Elizabeth as well?
We do. And the question is, moving forward in life, what should she do with her financial assets and properties? Sell or hold?
Okay. Guidance for financial future.
And the numbers are, when you're ready, 3, 7, and 13.
This is every single rune is blocked. Yara blocked. Othello, which is about homes, blocked. Io blocked. It's interesting. Another rune turned over. So around your financial aspects, everything is stuck. The rune that turned over as well, that was supposed to be part of it, was Kenaz reversed, which is there's some sort of enchantment, some wool being pulled over your eyes, or some sort of lies around this, a deceivement around these properties. What I would tell you to do is to work with Kenaz to reveal the truth around this. It actually says as well, it says Jol, like jolly or something like that. It's interesting. All of these runes turned upright are perfect for you sorting out your finances around property, but they're all blocked, and you have to see the truth, find the truth in it before you make any drastic decisions. If you want to work with property, then you need to work with this rune, Othello, Odin's rune, tribe, inheritance, land. Okay. And if you want to find the truth, you need to work with that rune, Kenaz, the light, to help me see, to help me show me the way forward. All right, I hope that helps, sister.
Perfect. All right, we have a question from Wu.
Yep.
And just general guidance.
Okay.
And the numbers are 5, 10, and 15.
5, 10, 15. So, Wu, for you to find the healer you're supposed to be, you have now these sort of at 2 o'clock, you have Dagaz at 2 o'clock, and you have Manaz upside down. There is a time of letting go and allowing yourself to metamorphose and change to really claim your healing or teaching skills that you're not using at the moment. Manaz, when it comes up, it means you have those skills, but they're not being used, or you can't use them because it's a time to be healing yourself. But Dagaz, when it comes in a reading, it's a great metamorphosis, the dawning of a new time, and all will be well, no matter what the runes around it. So whatever's going on, you need to allow the change to happen, the dawn to happen, to allow your wings to spread on your back. I know all about this at the moment, and it's a powerful rune. So bless you.
Absolutely.
Is that everyone done?
That is. So we're coming up here on 45 minutes or so. So that was perfect timing.
Yeah, that's cool, guys. And listen, and once again, our rune class starts on the 16th of July. If you know anyone who would benefit from it, we'd really appreciate it. These are strange times we're in. And we all have to spread the word.
And it's a tool, truly, it's a tool that will be with you for life and will help guide and open doorways, again, on the harmonic scale, in terms of just kind of fine-tuning your own beingness. That's how
somebody else asked me as well. This is just to put it out there as well. Those people who have learnt the runes from me or learnt the runes from others and forgotten them, would anyone be interested in a rune refresher course to sharpen up? So somebody once said to me, I saw a lady called Diana, I saw her at the weekend. She goes, I really want to get into the runes again, but I've sort of forgot, because you don't use them every day. They are a tool that you have to use regularly, or you do forget. So if anyone's interested in that course, please send us a message and we'll try and put something together for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Very much so. And Teresa, to answer your question, yes, this is going to be available on YouTube and Facebook. So you'll be able to listen back and reference what Jeremy spoke of in your question.
I think your runes, Teresa, were Uraz, Io pointing together, and Othello at the same angle.
And was that Lou? Was that Lewis? Lou? Yeah. No, that might have been somebody
else. Olivia.
Yeah. Sorry.
Lewis.
Getting it all confused. So thank you, everybody, for being with us as always. And we'll post when our next session is again soon. Bless you, guys. May the gods be with you. Take care. Kimberly, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Olivia, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Bye-bye.